What is up, guys? Zam from the Madden YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at a money play out of the weak close flex formation and also a money play for a 2-point conversion or short yardage scenario. But before we do that, guys, please do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button. Also, make sure you guys hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the uploads coming your way here on the Madden YouTube channel. If you guys want to watch me play Madden 20 live, you guys can find me on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/ZanMadden. The link is below in the description. And I do have exclusive sub-only content for my Twitch Prime and Tier 1 subscribers. My Tier 2 subscribers receive my full Washington Redskins Hot Route Master Offense on top of those sub-tips that go out each and every Friday. Okay, guys, without further ado, let's get into today's video. We're going to be talking about the weak close flex formation. This is a pretty popular formation right now in the Oakland Raiders playbook. A lot of players are running it for rollout corners, very similar to what you're seeing in the West Coast book with the near close flex, in that the receivers have the same alignment. You have a tight end. And I wanted to, in this video, kind of show you guys a little play that you can use occasionally that will be any type of zone coverage in the game. So the play that we're going to be running is the play PA boot shot. More often than not, when you run a 2-back, 1 tight end formation, you're going to see somebody come out in base defense personnel, meaning 3-4 or 4-3. The vast majority of players are going to call 3-4, and 3-4 odd is probably the most common. So we're going to run through the coverage shells, cover 2, cover 3, cover 4 here in this video, and talk about how this play can beat all those coverages. So let's first go ahead and start off with cover 2. This would encompass your cover 2 Tampa 2 style coverage, cover 2 hard flat, cover 2 sink, or pinch dog 2 press. This will be any of those coverages out of the 3-4 odd with this setup. So what we're going to do here is we are going to take our solo receiver, our tight end, we're going to put him on a delay fade. And then we're actually going to put the X receiver on a streak. And then what you can actually do here is put the running back on a wheel. And the whole purpose of this is that for some reason or another with this particular play, the safety on the short side of the field will allow Hopkins on his post route to break wide open, cross underneath of him, and get to the sideline for a throw to the short sideline at about 25 to 30 yards. Meanwhile, on this play, Will Fuller is going to run a streak route that is intended to pull the deep half safety on the wide side of the field vertical, allowing our fullback, Gillespie, to run the wheel route down the sideline. And you would typically look for him if your post was not open as they throw to the wide side as it gets behind the cloud flat or the soft squat that is on the wide side of the field. So right here with this play action is optional. This would be a 7-man protection, 3 routes out, 1 tight end delay fade that you could leak down the seam if they overuse or the middle of the field, or for one reason or another, the left seam is wide open. You could leak Darren Fells down the seam late by tapping his icon. We'll kind of go through the progression read here. So we'll snap the ball first, and we're going to pay attention to this post route. This post route is absolute money. You're just going to throw it down outside pass lead. If you want to help kind of keep that ball low, you can throw a low ball by holding L2 left trigger on the Xbox. But you're going to see very consistently that this throw is open because Will Fuller is not only pulling the safety on the right side of the field, but because he gets that free release down the seam, he basically runs all the way down the field, and you have to worry about him getting open to the inside of that safety on the wide side of the field, which means that the left safety has to respect the verticality of that route as well. So I'll kind of show you again here how that works. Actually threw an off balance throw right there. Even across the field, you saw that there was a ton of time for that throw to get open. I need to set my feet on that throw, obviously. I was trying to, but the quarterback kind of lost his locomotion there for a second. If you can, obviously trying to roll and throw over to this side, that's going to be huge. But you see just how open that route is. There's no shot for a cloud flat to get there. It's not matched by any of the hook zones underneath at the linebacker level. And this throw is going to be very reliable to get you, those post routes back across the field. So you see just how easily you can make this throw. Even if you get flushed to the wide side of the field by the pass rush, you're going to be able to throw back across to that guy, and he'll be very, very open against the cover 2 defense. So again, here is your progression. Again, the play action is optional. So if you wanted to, you could actually go ahead and try to run kind of a rollout scheme to the right. And you can see right here how you're going to be looking for this fullback. Right there, he actually gets matched man to man. Ideally, in this situation, you want, a really good running back. Obviously, most of you probably have Walter Payton, Bo Jackson, Dickerson, somebody like that. There are ways, I do believe, to get wide receivers at that fullback spot, so that way he can beat that guy in man-to-man coverage. Another thing you could do on this play to kind of help you out might be to go ahead and drag the tight end. He is on a delay fade. So if you wanted to prevent that cloud flat from matching on the wheel route, I believe you would have a situation where you could run that drag underneath to hold that cloud flat, and that's going to allow you to throw that wheel route a little bit better, just in case your wheel route can't beat that cloud flat in man-to-man coverage. That's just something for you guys to have in your arsenal as well. I did, of course, mention that you could leak the tight end out late in the play, so I could go ahead and do that as well. I pressed the A button to leak him out, and then you're obviously going to look for him running behind the vertical hooks. He kind of got hung up right there, but that would be a late in the play read if your opponent was, usering, one of the middle of the field zones and overplayed to the post, or decided to go chase the wheel, or for whatever reason that tight end leak is going to be wide open. So that's how you're going to beat cover 2 with this play. Pretty easy. Now let's go ahead and move on to cover 3. Typically with cover 3, you're going to see a single high alignment, meaning one safety in dead center of the field. A lot of players, of course, more advanced players, will base align their coverage so that way everything looks the same. But if you're facing cover 3 sky, it's pretty easy to tell. You see that there's one safety in center field. And the way that I would like to run this play against cover 3 is actually streak the tight end. I want that tight end on that streak to basically pull the safety and also the corner on the short side of the field, allowing Hopkins to get open underneath. So you could go with something like this here. Of course, the play action is optional, as I've mentioned, and you're going to see here how the tight end pulls, and you're going to be able to kind of throw. I pressed the wrong button right there. Pressed A instead of B. You're going to be able to throw that post route open underneath of the tight end. Let me go ahead and try that again. Sorry about that. So we're pressing B here. You see how we're going to be able to let him kind of run his route. We can throw that ball underneath. Again, a little bit faster tight end. Darren Fells is not super fast. In fact, let me go back to the play call menu and sub in the fullback, who actually is kind of fast at that tight end spot. I think you'll notice that this route's much better when you have a faster player at this spot. So if I put Gillespie there, and again, we're running the play PA boot shot against your cover 3, you want that tight end to press vertical as quickly as possible and really open up that read for the post route to get open. So another trick that if you're having trouble getting that tight end, see how much more open Hopkins is when you have a faster tight end there. So that can make all the difference in the world, is just having enough speed. I was going to mention another thing you could do on this play is smart route the post so it breaks sooner. The one risk you will have when you do that is potentially for some of the underneath zones to maybe get there. But again, you do see, it's pretty darn open. So if you don't really have a tight end that could get vertical quickly enough, you could always smart route the post. That way it breaks a little bit shorter to allow you to hit that throw. Another thing that you could do against cover 3, if you want, you could go with something like this, a little wheel screen in the flat. So you do something like this where you have Fuller on a flat route, Hyde on a wheel. You can motion Fuller outside. Of course, you could go ahead and throw your little flat racks upfield. You click on and kind of swerve and rack it upfield if you want. Or you could go ahead and use Fuller to pull for the wheel route to Hyde. So you go ahead and do that. Notice how it's going to pull that boundary defender out, and then you can throw this wheel route to the inside pass lead. That's another option you have against cover 3 as well. You'll have that option against cover 4 too, and I'm about to show you guys that. So let's go ahead and go back to the play call menu here and go to your cover 4 defense. Again, in terms of your underneath zones in cover 4, you're talking hook curls and curl flats, just like you would in cover 3. So you're going to have the same route combinations afforded to you underneath. Go ahead and show you the cover 4 drop show too. Again, streaking your tight end, smart route, or you can leave the B receiver on his regular post. Go with the flat or the streak to the X receiver. If you go to the flat, typically have a wheel route to the fullback to go to that side as well. Nice thing about this route combination is that it should force some attention to the wheel route, or else it's going to be wide open. So again, right here, you see that you have your little rack swerve upfield. If you have better stick than me, you could get upfield a little bit better and pick up 12, 15 yards on that instead of 6 or 7 like I just got. We'll try that one more time here. Typically what you do is you just motion them out. You kind of just throw an up pass lead, click on, and then hold down and then back up and rack it, and it gets you a little bit better catch with momentum upfield. So you see right here the ball spotted on about the 20. You can pretty consistently hit this throw. You'll get good at it after some time. So you see right there, that actually wasn't too great, but we picked up about 16 yards on a bad example. So of course you have that. And then, like I said, the wheel will also be open on this play. So, you always have that option for Hyde to pull the linebacker. That linebacker is going to go to the sideline. And then you could throw this route inside to the fullback out of the backfield. Another thing you could do, you could obviously use the running back on a wheel as well. If you decide to do that, you could always leak the fullback up on a curl route. And the reason I would recommend that, assuming they're not blitzing you, is now they're in a spot where they have to worry about a post route to Hopkins and have to use one of those middle linebackers. And if they don't go back to Hopkins, Hopkins is going to be open. If they decide to play Hopkins, you're going to have the curl over the middle, or the wheel to the running back, or the flat to the wide side. So like you're going to have 3 options available to you on this type of setup. But again, this is against your cover 4 drop show too. So just kind of be advised. It's all going to depend on where the user is. Again, you can kind of see here how that curl is going to be open out of the backfield because the hook curl is going to drop underneath the post. And of course, if they're a user, they're probably going to follow the post a little bit more downfield. But again, here, you could, of course, go with something like this. And like I said, your post route will be open. So you're going to see right here how Hopkins is going to break to the outside. You're just going to throw a little possession catch and get wide open. So this play is absolutely money against, any of the zones in the game. If you run Oakland Tour, chances are you're facing your fair share of the cover 4 drop. When you come out in 2 back, 1 tight end sets, chances are you're facing a fair amount of blitzing, which is going to open up some of your quick flat throws, your wheel route throws out of the backfield. And of course, if you have post flag elite, it's going to be able to beat man coverage or zone coverage, get those catches in traffic that are going to be pretty good. Now, the next thing I want to do here is I want to take us down to the 2-point conversion line, because I think that we don't put enough emphasis in this area of the game, which is that short yardage, 4th and 2, 4th and 1, 3rd and 2 for the ball game, or the 2-point conversion when you need to tie a game or go for the win. So we spot the ball on the 2-point conversion line, and I want to go to a completely different play in this formation that I really like. Now, this is a total gimmick play. What you want on this play is you want a reliable catching tight end or a running back that has backfield mismatch. You could also have matchup nightmare on this spot if you could use a tight end here. Because what we're going to do is we're going to be throwing some hike throws to this player out of the play known as drive. And the reason we're going to run this, and you want to run this to the quarterback's handedness, if you have a right-handed quarterback, you want to throw this ball with the fullback on the right. If you have a left-handed quarterback like Vic or Steve Young, you want to have it so the quarterback or the fullback is on the left side, because you don't want the quarterback having wasted animation, turning their hips to throw this ball that we're about to show you. So we're going to go ahead and show this to you here. And, we'll take a look here on this play. So I'm going to go ahead and go against random play here. Now, there are going to be situations where this can be, broken up, particularly man coverage if they man it up or if they user it. But the general rule here with this play is just throw the ball to the fullback. Just throw the ball to the fullback. And the reason that I say that is right here, they're in goal line. I wouldn't anticipate you see a lot of goal line in this situation, obviously audible out to stretch, but you're probably just going to throw this ball, boom, right there. And you see right there, he didn't actually animate, so you can click on and make this possession catch on your own if you wish. So you're going to see right here, you see how he just catches the ball and falls down, even with a guy right there. And if you put on backfield mismatch or, again, matchup nightmare, this is going to be really, really hard to stop because you could just fall into the end zone instantly. And, if they're blitzing you, they're blitzing 7 at you, that's going to be such a quick throw, and they're going to be so worried about Hopkins off the line, the tight end off the line. The last thing they're thinking is hike throw straight to the fullback in this example. So you see right here, hits him right in the back of the head. But again, if you guys have matchup nightmare, the only person that's really going to be there is going to be a linebacker. So when you have that ability on your player, it guarantees the catch against the linebacker. So that's what I'm saying. Anything that's really going to pick this, it's hard to really show you guys in the video because there's really nobody with, I think I could go with maybe McCaffrey. I don't know what abilities he has in regs. But if you have matchup nightmare or backfield mismatch, a linebacker cannot stop this throw. And chances are they're not going to have a corner out there on this, which means that they're in, really, really bad package. You see something like this where you're like, oh, that's 1-4-6. Like you're obviously going to try to run the dive right at that. So, they're going to be a spot where chances are they're in 3-4 odd. They're, probably calling a better personnel, you know, even something like this, you see like a nickel 2-4-5, you're going to try to run the dive right at that, right? So, you know, the only way they're going to be able to stop you on this is probably from 3-4. And then if they're in 3-4, chances are that means linebacker. And then this spot right here is just going to be, you know, wide open. So you see right here how you could just throw that, catch it, and get the falling animation into the end zone. Again, I would use this in 3rd and 1, 4th and 1 for the ball game type scenarios as well. This is what is called a ghost route. This is, some people call it a snag route, where you kind of have like this angled release. It's either inside or outside, and then it just hitches down. But this is one of those throws where you can actually throw the ball pretty hot to this player and get into the end zone, because he typically will catch it even without an ability. And if you have that ability, it's almost a guarantee. Again, right here, you see something like this. Chances are you're not going to throw straight at that corner because they could drop it. But again, you see that we hold on to that throw. And again, if you have backfield mismatch, it's just a bigger problem. Again, you see something like this. Nobody's going to be calling quarters 3 deep down here in this spot, or, you know, quarters in general. Let me go ahead and go into 3-4 odd real quick, just to kind of show, you know, what we got here. And let's see, we'll go back to the play drive again. I'll just call 3-4 odd, and I'm going to call random play. Okay, so when you're in this, like, you know, if it's man coverage, as long as it's a linebacker and you have the backfield mismatch, they're not going to stop it. So just kind of be advised here. Again, you see right here how we're able to just get in the end zone pretty consistently. Now, let me go ahead and flip the formation. We'll run this a couple more times here. So you see right here, just, you know, throw that ball, try to fall in. Again, right there, so that's a linebacker. That's where that play will not succeed. Backfield mismatch will hold on to that ball, so you could even rack it right through him if it's man coverage. But, you know, if it's any type of zone, you're just going to throw the ball right there, and you'll be able to make that catch as well. So nice little glitchy 2-point conversion. I don't like to run it away from the quarterback. It's not that you can't. The problem that for me is that I don't like the quarterback turning over the wrong shoulder to make this throw. It makes it a little bit easier to pick, for one, because he's turning. It's a wasted animation. It takes a little bit longer to get the ball out. But yeah, I just like it better to the throwing side. Right-handed quarterback, throw it to the right. Left-handed quarterback, throw it to the left. You see right here how he, you know, it's not a simple just snap throw. He has to kind of turn and throw it over here, and it puts it in a spot where it could be a little bit more dangerously picked. Again, right here, though, this is a linebacker. If you have backfield mismatch on your running back, or you matchup nightmare on your tight end and you sub them at fullback, they're not going to be able to play this with a linebacker. So just kind of keep that in the back of your mind. That is today's video, guys. A couple nice money plays out of the week close flex. The Oakland tour continues, but we're actually looking at the passing game. So if you guys liked the video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. Like, comment, subscribe. Any questions, comments, concerns, or complaints, make sure you guys put them below. We'll see you guys tomorrow with our next upload. Until then, this is Zan. Get in the lab and good luck.